Hey Matrix fans, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. Hope you're ready to digest that red pill because we's about to dive deep into the rabbit hole that is Matrix Resurrections. We just got the trailer for the new upcoming Matrix movie that is Matrix 4 but is currently titled Matrix Resurrections. And I think a lot of people are wildly confused and wondering what the hell is going on, and this trailer does give us a lot of clues to what could be happening. So what I'm going to be doing here for you guys is giving you my trailer breakdown for the Matrix Resurrections. I'll be pointing out Easter eggs you might have missed, callbacks to the original trilogy, trying to explain what exactly is going on here because everybody's looking out of whack. But I'm gonna need you Matrix fans also to give me your theories and thoughts down below. Are you excited for this new Matrix movie? Like, this actually surprised me. I thought it was a damn good trailer. And I'm only someone who's a surface casual level Matrix fan, but this makes me want to dive deep into the world again. Alright, so right away with the opening of the trailer, we seem to be zooming in on a complex. This could either be the house of Neo or where he's currently doing some therapy. But I think a lot of people pay attention and notice how this just looks very computerized. And that is obviously on purpose because if you're not familiar with the Matrix, it's about a future where eventually AI robots exist, create this simulated world for humans to live in, the Matrix. So I actually think it's kind of a great detail that this feels very computerized because, well, this is supposed to be a computer-generated simulation. And right off the bat, before getting Neo, we get another Easter egg here, a black cat. Now, if you don't remember, in the Matrix movies, the black cat were significant in teaching the audience and Neo about why deja vu happens in real life. The explanation is that if you experience deja vu when he saw the same black cat twice, it means there has been a change in the program. But in this instance, it seems like it's just something to tease the audience of things that happened before. Bringing us to Neo, who goes back to his simulated name of Thomas Anderson. He's currently in a therapy session with Neil Patrick Harris's character where he's describing all these weird dreams he's been having of the Matrix, like hear him walking down the street and being able to see code everywhere, leading to some intense flashes of what appears to be a character turning into an agent, someone shooting a bullet, Neo trying to catch it. But one of the most important details that we get really quick right off the bat here is of Neo in the real world that seems to have been captured and put back into the simulation. This, I think, is going to be the key to explaining all the events of the fourth movie and why some things feel weird while other things feel familiar, is that for all intents and purposes is that this is Neo from the Matrix Revolution, and we can tell that because his eyes are burned and he's blind just like they had him in that movie. It was explained that this happened because it allowed Neo to open his third eye and see the world as it is instead of the fake world with his real eyes. So this means everything that happened in the original Matrix trilogy is still in some way canon and actually happened, when a lot of people were theorizing that the Matrix 4 was sort of a reboot of the movie and they would just be making a direct sequel to the first film because most fans tend not to like the second and third movie. Again, only 20 seconds into the trailer and so much has been revealed. We continue on here of some interesting shots where Mr. Anderson is currently living, even him having a little bit of bath time with a rubber duck on him. Now, this might just be a funny thing, but it's also a clever detail because it appears that Neo in this simulation is rich. That is, if this is actually his home, because that seems like an expensive place. The robots controlling it might have tried to make Neo as happy as possible in their simulations so that he doesn't plan to escape. Leading us to a shot here of Mr. Anderson meeting one of his once colleagues and love of his life, Trinity. This is where the speculation and theories can really begin, because one could wonder, is this actually Trinity who's trapped in the Matrix alongside Neo, or is she a falsified simulation created to trick Neo's character? Because there are shots in this trailer where she appears to have code on her that could just be Neo's sight and his gift, or it could be that she's a fake character. We are then treated to shots of Keanu Reeves' characters digesting in some blue pills. In the world of the Matrix, the blue pill usually signifies someone who does not want to see the outside world from the Matrix. So it would make sense that in here the simulation would be constantly putting these blue pills into Neo, possibly to suppress his powers as the One, because just like it's mentioned in the original movie where Neo always felt out of place in the world, he feels out of place right now as he's staring at himself really hard in the mirror, looking up at the sky at a flock of birds and feeling like something's off there, as well as noticing the people around them and how glued they are to their screens. The other explanation for the blue pill is there are certain shots in this trailer where Neo is looking in the mirror and he sees an old man. It could be the entire time that the simulation has covered him in this skin to forget that he is Neo and instead just a fragile old man living in this world. We get a shot of the book Alice in Wonderland through the looking glass. This is a reference to when Morpheus, played by Lawrence Fishburne in the first movie, mentioned that with all this confusion going on of the Matrix that he must feel like Alice in Wonderland. But probably the most puzzling part of this trailer is we get shots here of Keanu Reeves looking into the mirror, and in the background someone is projecting the events of the first couple of Matrix movies. Now this is an unconfirmed rumor, but it's been said that the 3 Matrix Matrix movies actually exist within the world of the Matrix, and that the simulation threw them in there so that it's harder for people to believe that the Matrix is actually real, because in their simulation there are a bunch of movies with a famous star like Keanu Reeves, making it harder for the resistance to recruit people and join the fight against them. Giving us our first look at Yahya Mateen II here as the character Morpheus. Now, this has been a little controversial to some Matrix fans because they did not go ahead and contact Lawrence Fishburne to come back for this fourth film, and instead Yahya is going to be replacing him as the new Morpheus. I think there's a lot of reasons for why they went ahead and did this, like we'll see later on in the trailer, because they needed Morpheus to do some action scenes in here, much similar to how Lawrence Fishburne did them in the first Matrix film. And no offense to Lawrence Fishburne, but it just doesn't seem like he'd be physically fit up to the challenge. So the way they might explain it off is in the movie version of the Matrix that's in the simulation that we know and love in real life was just a fabricated version created by the AI robots. Another callback to the first Matrix movie, when Neo is first coming in contact with Trinity, she tells him to follow the white rabbit, and here we see this character with a rabbit tattoo as they go ahead and enter a doorway that is super bright. Now, this might be the new way to get out of the Matrix, because if you remember in the original movie, if you wanted to be pulled out of the Matrix, you had to go ahead and answer a telephone in a public area because it was set in 1999. Well, fast forward in modern day, there's not really a lot of public phone out there, that this might be the alternative to be able to exit the Matrix is a doorway. More callbacks and flashbacks to the original movie, giving us real deja vu, where we have the character of Neo and Morpheus fighting in a dojo. It feels like they have to reteach Keanu Reeves' character everything from the past couple of films, only this time Neo already has his abilities that he worked hard to get by the end of the first Matrix movie, because we see him just push Morpheus' character as hard as possible, destroying the simulated dojo. Some really great shots here of the human farm that the AI robots use to power themselves. If you remember in the backstory of the Matrix, after humankind created AI technology, they wanted to get rid of all these AI robots, and since they ran on solar power, humans themselves scorched the earth. They never really explain what that means, but basically they made it so that it's never sunny, thus not letting these robots power up and gain the electrical energy they need. Well, instead they turn to human power because, as the Matrix explains, the human body does produce a good amount of electricity, and that's why the Matrix was created. As these bodies are giving off electricity to feed these robots, they have their minds placed in the Matrix so that they can stay alive and provide them with power. From there, the visuals of the films and the action sequences really seem to impress me. We even get some shots of people turning into agents like the previous movies. Another quick glance of scenes from the first Matrix movie when Neo is first exiting the Matrix, with just more absolutely intense and bonker action sequences. I am really hoping that this Matrix movie comes out good. It feels like they do have a good idea here where they're kind of rebooting the franchise by telling the events of the first movie just a little bit modernized, and they have the ability to kind of decanonize some of the bad parts of the previous film just by calling them movies that were exaggerated and falsified by the simulation they live in. There are reports that this movie is set to subvert expectations and kind of flip the script of the Matrix, and that always has people worried, but I'm thinking even if it sucks, man, visually it is gonna rock. What did you guys think of the trailer for The Matrix Resurrection? Do you have any theories or thoughts to what's going on? Did you catch any details that I might have missed? I'm actually really interested to hear what you guys say about this, but don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.